Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Massive news to share with you all. We have the New York Stock Exchange filing a trademark to help them or to allow them to list NFTs, cryptocurrencies, and digital assets. They're building a marketplace essentially. This is huge. We're also going to talk about a really important crypto regulation bill that was put into place by Congressman Warren Davidson to protect unhosted crypto wallets. This is significant, and I want to give the details there. We're also going to talk about pathetic Gary Gensler of the SEC going on Fox Business, continuing his shenanigans and refusing to answer questions. But, a lot of people are weighing in on this, even the folks at Fox Business, about his statements and what he came on the show and pretty much did. And also some folks are hinting that he might resign. We're going to talk about it. There's also other bullish news around stable coins and regulations around that. Warren Buffett and Bitcoin and YouTube and Coinbase, much more to go through. Now, before we get there, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, earlier today, I uploaded my interview with Randy Zuckerberg, CEO of Zuckerberg Media. Yes, Randy is the sister of Mark Zuckerberg. And she worked at Facebook in the early days. So has a great perspective on Web 2. And now she's heavily involved in Web 3 and helping to build and invest. She's a brand advisor to OKCoin Crypto Exchange. She's also been a big advocate of NFTs, the metaverse, and so forth. It's a great interview, guys, and we talk about entrepreneurship and so forth. So I'll put a link in the description. Be sure to check it out. Once again, you just get a great perspective from someone who was building in Web 2 and now is bullish on Web 3. Quick word from our sponsors. First is Algorand, which is building the future of finance. Algorand is one of the leading projects in the crypto industry. They're getting significant adoption and investments. For example, both Anthony Scaramucci's and Michael Arrington's hedge funds are invested in Algorand, building out the ecosystem. I'm personally an Algo token holder and very bullish on this respective project. Next up is TaxBit, which is the leading tax service provider in the crypto industry. It's a service I personally use. It makes my life so easy when it comes to taxes. I plug in the data from the exchanges, it calculates it, it gives me my forms, and I hand it to my accountant. Easy peasy, makes my life easy, guys. So be sure to check out this service. Links will be in the description for both Algorand and TaxBit. Now, let's look at the crypto market. Bitcoin had a pretty solid day. Right now, it's over $44,000. Some of the alts are seeing some green as well. Ethereum is over 3,100, XRP close to 84 cents. So let's hope this trend continues because there are still some looming downfalls or negative news like the Russia-Ukraine situation. That could be a nothing burger, or it could be something that actually happens, and that could send markets into a downward spiral because of fear. Also, the Fed had their emergency meeting on Monday, and they could come out saying they're going to raise rates. I don't think they're going to raise it significantly where they crash markets. As we've talked about, that would destroy wealth even further on top of what inflation is already doing to wealth. So keeping these things in mind, I still think Bitcoin has its retracement. I'll redraw some of the lines here on the Bitcoin weekly chart. We just have to wait and see how things play out at this point. Right now, Bitcoin's looking really strong on the weekly chart, but it could pull back before moving upwards to the retracement. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. None of these things are guaranteed, but I have a strong conviction that Bitcoin's going to hit that 55 to 58K retracement, at which point it's going to go back down. And then we have our alt season. Now, some people are predicting long-term into the rest of this year, Bitcoin could continue its upward movement, maybe following the alt season momentum. And, you see all these big news items like Russia's going to legalize crypto, they're going to mine crypto and so forth. And that could send Bitcoin's price going crazy. El Salvador is going to release their Bitcoin bond in March. So there's a lot of big things happening this year. And Bitcoin could go further, but I'm being cautiously optimistic. I'll be taking profits at the peak of the retracement, which is around that 55 or 58K range, and then see what happens. But certainly, I'm excited for alt season because I know I'll make more or higher returns with alts. So here's what one analyst is saying, and this is from Matthew Hyland, saying Bitcoin is very close to flipping the super trend 3-day and going into the green zone. So right now we're in the red zone, similar to what we were at in the summer when Bitcoin had its pullback. And he's saying, it's going to flip to green now. So I do believe that aligns with the retracement. It would be awesome if Bitcoin retraced and went to 100K. Is that very likely? I don't think so, guys. But I will gladly be wrong because I want to make money and I want higher prices, but I want to be realistic as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. Nevertheless, the adoption, the building, the expansion in the crypto asset class continues. Look at this headline. New York Stock Exchange files trademark application for its own NFT marketplace. The move comes after the New York Stock Exchange minted 6 NFTs last year, commemorating the debut of hot tech stocks on the exchange. So they filed an application with the with the US Patent and Trademark Office to provide an online marketplace for various digital goods, listen to this, including NFTs, cryptocurrencies, digital media, and artwork. My OG subscribers and viewers, remember what we were talking about years ago in 2018 and 2019? That stock exchanges will end up listing cryptocurrencies. They're already doing that indirectly via ETFs, and this is happening globally, but they will list the actual assets themselves. That is coming, and as you can see, these guys are building out the infrastructure now for that. So they're going to launch their marketplace, guys, and you'll be able to buy NFTs and all these things. And it says here, if the exchange follows up with these plans, it would be competing with the likes of OpenSea and Rarible. In April, the New York Stock Exchange minted its first set of NFTs with homages to 6 hot tech stocks that debuted on the world's largest bourse, including Spotify, Roblox, and Coupang. I don't know what that is, Coupang. At the time, the exchange said it wasn't selling the NFTs, only minting them, apparently for commemorative purposes. So it looks like they got some ambitious plans here, my friends, and it comes as no surprise. We're seeing stock exchanges and banks and major investment firms around the globe are doing this. So very bullish news. This is why you have to have a macro outlook on the market. A lot of things are still being built. We're still early in the adoption curve. And I always, it reinforced the one thing that is so important if you've taken a position, and that is patience. Patience. We're still very early. Think of it as someone coming to you in 1998, 97 and saying, hey, invest in Google, Amazon, eBay, and so forth, because this internet thing is going to be huge. Well, hey, this blockchain thing is going to be huge, and cryptocurrencies and digital assets are going to be part of a token economy, a multi-chain world where you're going to have ecosystems powered by blockchain and tokens, and those tokens can grow in value based on utility, adoption, network effect, and so forth. Blockchain is the next layer on top of the internet. Once you grasp that and what is being built here, then you will know how to proceed and act. And obviously, investing, there's a risk that comes with it, so you have to do your homework. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose, because there are going to be winners and there's going to be losers, right? Just like there was in the dot-com boom. So keep these things in mind. Look at this. Congressman Warren Davidson, U.S. bill seeks to protect unhosted crypto wallets from regulators. Representative Warren Davidson, Republican out of Ohio, a member of the Blockchain Caucus, introduced a bill on Tuesday. Shout out to Congressman Warren Davidson, man. He's been doing some great things for the crypto market for a very long time. If you recall, he's the one who crafted the Token Taxonomy Act. So he's been doing a lot of fighting and pushing for regulations and clarity, guys. So once again, the bill was introduced today and would ban agencies from restricting the use of convertible virtual currency by a person to purchase goods or services for the person's own use and other purposes. The legislation also prevents agencies from prohibiting users from conducting transactions through a self-hosted wallet. Self-hosted or unhosted crypto wallets have been targeted by US regulators over the course of the past year. And remember, the Treasury, they were trying to go after this. Mnuchin under President Trump was trying to do this. So big shout out to Congressman Warren Davidson, and hopefully things move forward in the right direction with this. And even if this particular bill doesn't make it through, what we've seen with Congressman Davidson and others who are pro-crypto, putting these bills in and throwing them in the mix will help set the tone and help guide, maybe future regulations where this is packaged with something else. So once again, show him your support, follow him on Twitter and so forth. He's doing some great stuff. Now, the pathetic Gary Gensler, the puppet of Wall Street, or the Wall Street puppet, I should say, the bankster's puppet. He went on Liz Claman's show on Fox Business, probably because they've been covering the SEC lawsuit and exposing him in the SEC and the hypocrisy and the conflicts of interest. And of course, he wouldn't answer anything. So I want to play a clip because Liz asked him, hey, why the double standard between Ripple and Ethereum? Why did you give Ethereum the free pass? And of course, he doesn't want to answer when he could, but his body language is interesting. He gets very nervous when she literally talks about Ethereum, probably because he knows all the conflicts of interest are being exposed right now. So let me play a clip here for you guys.
XRP to build out its underlying blockchain network. No different than example B, Ethereum floating an ICO, a coin offering to help its underlying Ethereum blockchain. There is no difference, a lot of people say.
So Liz, you started by saying you weren't going to ask me about specific cases. And so if I can help the audience. I said
example A, example B.
Yeah, but I help the audience know that it's not, I'm not really allowed to talk about specific cases, but it's pretty straightforward. Raise money from the public, as you say, with a basic bargain of full and fair disclosure and
So continues with the same, default jargon, like we can't go read that crap on the SEC's website. He won't answer even specific questions about Ethereum. I understand if he doesn't answer about Ripple, but he can't even answer about Ethereum. And that's probably because he knows he's in a bad position. So it's like he goes on TV and says nothing. It's pathetic. And I'm not the only ones, saying he's pathetic, guys. Charles Gasparino saying that. I'm going to play a clip of what he had to say, but let me read some of his tweets. He said, watched Gary Gensler, Liz Claman's interview with Gary Gensler. Interesting how divorced from reality he is. He's worried about unregistered XRP, PPOF, block trading, ESG disclosures, when the Fed's money pumping created dozens of new asset classes that will blow up on investors when the Fed tightens. Great point. He also said, interesting takeaway from Gary Gensler's talk with Liz Claman on the difference between Ethereum's Ether and what Ripple did with XRP. He wouldn't comment. SEC generally doesn't comment on investigations, which means maybe they are weighing on an Ether case. Interesting take there. I wouldn't be surprised, but let's see what happens. Maybe he will do that. But, I'm sure, I don't know what's going to happen with Bill Hinman, but maybe they won't let anything happen to him. They'll just go after Ether, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, Charles Gasparino used the same word I've been using about Gary Gensler lately, and that is pathetic. And let me play a clip here, what he had to say regarding the interview.
And this is potentially huge. I know the market's up today. It's taking a breather. And I know AMC is off its lows. It was as low as $15 or $14 a share. It's at 18, 19 now. But it's down 80% from its highs. And if it goes down to $10 a share, which it really could if the Fed starts tightening, if it does 50 basis points, people are going to say, where was the investor protection? And I'll tell you, these esoteric things, I mean, did Ripple's an unregistered XRP really hurt anybody? No.
Well, Charlie, hold on. The one thing that I thought was really important here, number one, I did try very hard to push him on what is the difference between what Ethereum is versus Ripple XRP. You know,
that's so pathetic Liz, that is so pathetic he punted on that. He is taking a case that he was handed by Jay Clayton, the SEC chair under Trump. He's pushed it forward as aggressively or more aggressively than Jay Clayton did. It has literally, what was done on Ripple is not that much contextually or materially different than what Ether did.
Okay.
Why?
So clearly, calling out that Gary Gensler is pathetic. He should be answering these questions, and he's covering up for Bill Hinman and the conflicts of interest and the double standard. And obviously, Bill Hinman was bribed, and they gave the Ethereum free speech pass, or free pass speech, I should say. So even journalists are recognizing this, right? Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Now, John Deaton had an interesting take on this. He said, regarding Gensler being on Fox, he said he won't comment on any specific token about whether it is or isn't a security, but he insists that the exchanges come in and registered that they are selling securities. He ignores Representative Tom Emmer's request, right? Tom Emmer has been asking him about the Bitcoin ETF. John Deaton says, I predict when he has to testify before Congress next year, he will resign. I think so. And there's some other news being drummed up here. I shouldn't say drummed up, but seems to be something that's around the corner about him and Hillary Clinton, talking about Gary Gensler now, as a CFO of her campaign and some stuff that happened in 2016. Once again, I still want to confirm those details before I bring them to you guys, but that's something else that's happening in parallel to this whole situation. So everybody's just seeing how pathetic Gensler is at this point. And, I could see him running away and resigning because there's once again, conflicts of interest. How do you hide that? How do you cover that up? How do you fix that? He's going to have a very hard time. So we'll see how things progress. Now let's talk about stable coins. So some very good developments here, and it's coming from the Democrat side. We've been seeing bipartisan support for crypto, but however, there have been some legacy Democrat folks who are very crazy and hard-nosed, like Brad Sherman and Elizabeth Warren and so forth. Well, Representative Josh Gottheimer out of New Jersey, he put together a bill that would define the boundaries for the stablecoin market. So New Jersey Representative Josh Gottheimer, if I'm saying that right, unveiled an early draft of legislation aimed at placing definitions around stablecoins. Critics consider stablecoins susceptible, my goodness, to manipulation, bad actors, and collapse the result of inefficient reserve capital. A draft released by Representative Josh Gottheimer office proposes to designate certain digital currencies as qualified stablecoins if they can be redeemed on a one-for-one basis for US dollars. So Jeremy Allaire, who's the founder of Circle, and I've interviewed him. If you haven't seen that interview, link will be in the description. They obviously created USDC. And he tweeted out, highly encouraged by the legislative proposals coming from the representative around federal statutes for stablecoin issuers. The bill strikes a strong balance between risk oversight and enabling competition and innovation. Big step forward. In addition, Brian Brooks, the man is a legend. He was at the OCC. He tweeted in response to this saying, great development on stablecoins and consistent with January 2021 US OCC guidance. Thanks to Representative Josh Gottheimer for your bipartisan leadership. So this is great, guys. This is good. And I'm glad it's a Democrat because I think we need to see more Democrats lead on crypto regulations. It has been more on the Republican side. But once again, I'm not saying that there haven't been Democrats pro crypto, but rather the leading, that they're introducing the bill. This is good, and I like what I'm seeing here. Makes me feel better. Have some hope that this year we might see some clarity in the market. Now, Senator Toomey, who I'm also trying to get an interview with, he has his own respective legislation, and he introduced some stuff saying his legislation would allow 3 types to create stablecoins. 1, current stablecoin issuers. 2, clarify that insured banks can also issue stablecoins. Cites Brian Brooks' work here. And 3, establish a new stablecoin charter. So both sides of the aisle trying to work and get things done, guys. This is awesome. All right, here's some news of more capital coming into the market every day, every week. It's just seeing millions and millions being poured in. Blockchain venture firm Woodstock raising $100 million from U.S. investors. Global Web3 fund with deep roots in India taps U.S. investors for a second vehicle. I don't need to go into the details. We're just seeing new funds popping up, traditional financial funds now expanding and building crypto arms, and they're raising hundreds of millions of dollars to invest in crypto, both to invest in the tokens and the infrastructure, the companies like exchanges, wallet services, and yada, yada, who are just building the on and off ramps. Now, this is interesting. Warren Buffett has invested $1 billion in Bitcoin-friendly bank, Nubank. So Warren Buffett, a huge critic of Bitcoin, and has called it rat poison squared and all these things. And of course, it disrupts his entire model and what he's known for years. And he's made money off, obviously, investing. And I respect the guy and what he's done. Pretty amazing when you think about it. But we know things change. And it doesn't matter how we feel emotionally, if we love or hate something. Technology innovation has always progressed and has always disrupted. And if you don't get on board, you end up being the person getting disrupted and going out of business. Look at Blockbuster, right? So I think Buffett, he may never invest in Bitcoin. He may never say a positive word about Bitcoin, but he's looking to make money. So he may invest indirectly. So the fact that he's doing this is interesting. We'll have to wait and see what else he does and what else Nubank does to get some details. But still, in one way or other, these guys are going to end up investing in Bitcoin indirectly because more companies are going to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Just look at MicroStrategy, right? Tesla and so forth. If you're holding Tesla stock, you're indirectly investing in Bitcoin because the value of that Bitcoin going up can impact the stock price and the value of the company. So that's what's coming, my friends. And look at this, Russia Ministry of Economic Development. Bitcoin miners should get lower electricity tax. Something is cooking up in Russia. And I think they see the sanctions that may be coming their way as a result of this Ukraine situation. And they're betting big time on Bitcoin as this neutral currency that they can use to bypass any sanctions. So we'll see what happens, guys. Something is cooking up here, and it's pretty big. The way they are acting, the way how fast they've been moving, the statements from Putin, something big is happening here, guys. Now, Coinbase will hire 2,000 people in 2022 to explore opportunities in Web3. Of course, but look at that number, 2,000 people. They know that higher prices are coming, mass adoption is coming. We see the mass marketing, the Super Bowl ads. They're going to need the talent. They're going to need the bodies to start building the services out and maintain this and grow it and so forth. We're still very early. So the fact that they're planning to do this, just sit back and think about it. An exchange that depends on crypto, on fees of people buying and selling crypto and trading crypto. Well, what's the incentive for people to do that? Higher prices. And as a business, they're not going to hire 2,000 people and to eat away at their profit and their margins and go out of business. they're hiring aggressively because they know higher prices are coming, my friends. There's money to be made here. So this is why we're seeing all these hedge funds and investment firms and all the capital is coming in. It's everybody's bullish and they know what's coming. Now, like I said earlier, not everything will be a winner. Some things will be losers, but exchanges, they're in a great position to make a lot of money because it doesn't matter to them what assets go up or down or win or lose, because they just collect fees off of people buying and selling and trading. So this type of news makes me bullish because it means in their board meetings, in their planning meetings and forecasting and projection, we expect X amount of customers to come in, X amount of revenue. And obviously, once again, for that to happen, higher prices. YouTube is hiring a Web3 director to build its strategy and vision. We've heard, rumors of them wanting to integrate NFTs and all of that. So everybody is jumping in. Everybody, guys, the future of this market is so bright. Remember, patience. If you took a position, be patient. The market's volatile, but have a macro level view and pay attention to this type of news of what's happening, who's building, who's investing. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.